Good morning. It's early on Friday and I'm in my straw bale garden. But it is Friday and I did say Fridays would be Storytime Fridays. You find me in a very reflective mood this morning. It's very tempting when you're doing these kind of things to start getting sucked into, oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. And for those of you who've seen sort of the very first videos I put out, you'll know that I wanted this to be different. So I'm reminding myself, in fact, this is not the first recording. The first recording I did was, show it, and it's like, that's not how I'm feeling. So I'm going to share Storytime Fridays, as indeed I'm going to share all of my content with you based on how I'm feeling in that moment. And thinking about the posts which I've shared during this week, and if you haven't seen them, by all means look back to them. The flies one is my favourite. I'm reminded that sometimes the way we see things is not necessarily the reality. And so the story I'm reminded of this Friday is a story which I try and remind myself of frequently, because I think I sometimes have a lot in common with the gentleman that this story starts with. In this story, there is a man who feels as if he's down on his luck. He feels as if no matter what he tries to do, just nothing ever seems to go right. And so he convinces himself, why am I plagued by bad luck? That's what he begins to ask himself. And then someone tells him that there is a wise old woman at the end of the world, and he should, if he wants, go on a quest to find her and ask her why he has such bad luck. So he does this. And I'm going to truncate this story somewhat, so with a hop, skip and a jump on his journey to meet this woman at the end of the world, he meets a wolf, a thin, scrawny, emaciated wolf, who asks the man, when he goes and sees this wise woman, will you ask her why I am so thin, why I am so sickly? And he agrees. Onward he goes until he comes to a tree that moans and groans, says it's in pain, it can't stretch its roots and it can't grow. And asks the man, will you ask the wise woman why I am unable to grow and why my roots hurt so much? And onward he goes until he comes to a great castle where there is a queen and she is crying, and she asks him, will you ask the wise woman why I am so sad? So the man finally gets to the end of the world, finds this wise woman in a cave, and he says to her, why? Why am I so unlucky? And she more or less laughs in his face. And she says, you're not unlucky. You're really not. In fact, you are surrounded with an abundance of opportunities. Your problem is you don't look for them, you don't see them. Begin to seize your opportunities and you will see things begin to change. And so the man thanks her, is about to leave, and then he remembers the question from the queen, the tree and the wolf. So he asks those, and the wise woman gives him the answers. And off he goes, heading home to seize his opportunity. He passes by the queen, and he tells the queen that the reason she is so sad is because she is lonely. And the wise woman says, you need to find someone who is gentle, someone who you feel you can trust, and spend more time with them, and then perhaps, if it feels right, you might decide to marry them. Well, long story short, the queen gets to thinking, she gets to talking, and she eventually offers this man a place by her side in the palace. And he says, oh, no, I can't stay here. I need to get home and seize my opportunity. And off he goes. until he comes to the tree. And he says to the tree, the reason your roots hurt, the reason you cannot grow is because beneath your roots there is treasure, gold and jewels. The wise woman says you need to find somebody to dig it out from under your roots, and then you'll be able to grow quite freely. And the tree says, well, I have no need of gold or riches. If you will dig it out from under my roots, you are welcome to keep it. And the man says, dig out the... No, he says, I haven't got time for digging. I need to get home and seize my opportunities. And off he goes. And then he comes to the wolf, and they chat a bit. And the man tells the wolf about the queen and how she offered him a place by her side. And the wolf said, so you didn't stay? Well, no, said the man. I needed to get home and seize my opportunity. Well, and then there was this tree, said the man, and he explained about the treasure. And the wolf said, and you didn't dig out the treasure? Well, no, said the man. I needed to get home to seize my opportunity. And what of me? Said the wolf. Well, the wise woman said that the reason you are so thin and the reason you are so sickly is that you are simply starving. And you should eat the first fool that you come across and you'll feel much better. And so the solution seemed obvious, to the wolf at least. It opened its jaws wide and swallowed the foolish man, and it was true. The wolf did feel much better. So in those times when you have a wolf at your door that is threatening to swallow you whole, perhaps take that as a sign. Have a good Friday.